Hi, everyone, and welcome to our presentation. I'm Aiden Riley. I'm a co-founder of the FarmLink project, and I'm head of partnerships.
I'm Stella, founding team member and head of people operations.
We may be preaching to the choir here, but we want to contextualize our program before we start. Today, 26% of people in the world are food insecure, meaning they don't know where their next meal is going to come from. At the same time, we grow enough food to feed every person in the world twice over. All of this food being dumped leads to improper decomposition in landfills and oceans, causing one of the most discrete but damaging causal factors in climate change. This is why in April of 2020, amidst the beginning of the pandemic, we began the FarmLink project. We had a goal of rerouting surplus produce to food banks that need it in the United States. We began by calling farms, renting U-Hauls, and driving and picking up produce ourselves to taking it to local food banks in and around Los Angeles, where we're from.
What began as a grassroots pandemic project has blossomed into a national movement. To date, we've moved over 50 million pounds of fresh food that would otherwise be wasted across every state. Our team grew from just a handful of students to now over 600 from universities across the country.
This has not been without the help of some of these partners listed here, such as ReFed, who was our very first grant and has been a constant supporter throughout our history. To the right is an example of our partnership with Chipotle last year, where we raised $1 million through micro donations at every Chipotle restaurant in the nation. This was enough to provide 10 million meals during the holiday season. Through these partnerships and through natural fundraising, we've raised over $7 million in the last year and a half. While we've grown, we've simultaneously been able to make our operations 3 times more efficient in the last year. We've tripled the amount of food we can move since last year from 8 pounds to now 25 pounds per dollar donated. This is twice the efficiency that Feeding America, the leading nonprofit in this space, operates at. So while all of these statistics and poundage metrics are great, this is not the reason we're here to talk to you today. We're here to talk to you today about our most valuable asset, which is young people.
When I envision not just FarmLink, but the future of our food system, I don't think about backloading trucks, percentages per pound, or labor laws. I think about people like Margaret, a recent high school graduate who we depend on to craft soulful messages against food waste that reach millions across the world. I think of Sophia, a senior in college who leads our policy advocacy team and recently went out to Washington, D.C. to meet one-on-one with Senator Cory Booker and discuss how to reduce food waste through the U.S. Farm Bill. And I think of people like Jules, a recent graduate of UC Berkeley who is foregoing a paid job in another industry to lead the development of FarmLink's emission reduction program with Vera.
So we truly believe, and we've seen how empowering young change makers like these 3 will not only create immediate impact now, but it's an investment into a generation that will put the welfare of others and the welfare of our planet first. To create a truly equitable space, we know that our team has to reflect all sides of the food system. So whether you grew up volunteering at a food bank or standing in line in one, you have a seat at the table to design this food system, and that journey starts here at the FarmLink project. This is why we are asking for a partner to launch our fellowship. An investment of $1 million will be exclusively allocated to providing the most committed young leaders the opportunity to support themselves while working to improve millions of lives and our planet. This funding will be provided through a competitive and equitable application process, the details of which can be decided upon with the collaboration of the funder. We estimate that this will support the growth of our fellowship for the next 5 years.
This fellowship will allow us to continue to nurture some of the best young minds and talent in the space. Giving these passionate students the tools to make a difference will create lasting change. Change that can only occur when we empower people within the communities that we serve.
The truth is, this is no small sum of money. With this kind of funding, we could rescue 24 million pounds of food across the US before March. But we believe the true key to solving these major issues in the long term lies in inspiring and investing in young people. We believe 10 or 15 years from now, it is those students and what they will go on to do for our food system that will create real lasting change. Thank you for taking the time to listen to us today. And please do not hesitate to reach out to me personally if you have any questions.